Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Border City Rock Talk, where you get great news, great interviews, great interviewees with sometimes a comedic touch. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, hit the comment button. No, there's no button in comment. Hit the like button and comment below. Today, I have one hell of a gunner, Tracii Guns from LA Guns. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. I got up at earliest day of the year today. I got up at 6 a.m. and I did 9 radio interviews in an hour and a half.
Wow.
It's this thing they called a radio tour on your guys' side of the business, and I just laid there in bed, just like so I've been up a while.
So were they live interviews or were they recorded for the next day or
A couple of them were drive time interviews. That's why they were all scheduled so early.
right on? So you
Yeah,
said you got up at the crack of dawn or something. You ever see you know those roasts, like the roast of Charlie Sheen, the roast of
yeah,
those
yeah.
guys? I remember that when you said that, it came to me. It said, so Charlie gets up in the morning early at the crack of crack.
I got up so early there was no dawn. It was black. I was
Wow.
like
Well, because you're probably well, you're on the West Coast, so you're doing them
yeah,
on the East, right?
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
anyways, we're here to talk about leopard skin, and I believe you said you recognize your girlfriend in the background.
It looks like my girlfriend. It's not my girlfriend, but I mean, people, everybody's at, is that Janine? I'm like, okay.
Well, how come you didn't have her posing it for the album cover?
I
One of
don't
those
know.
things with royalties.
Yeah, yeah, or it's just weird.
Yeah. No, yeah. You don't want anybody saying, I love your album cover.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, what are you looking at my album cover for, man?
You didn't find out there was music inside for about 2 months.
She's a looker.
Anyways, Tracii, I'm sure she is. So, glad to speak with you. Everybody knows Tracii Guns from LA Guns, but I want to ask a couple unique questions. A lot of people don't know. Like, I mean, Cocked and Loaded, you just released an album that you've been working on, Leopard Skin, since 2017. But back in the day, people even to this day don't realize how close you were with Guns N' Roses. You were a founding member. And
Yeah,
this question, I really don't know, but I mean, you got to be a fool not to know. The name Guns N' Roses came from your last name and
yeah,
Bill or
yeah. That's
Axel.
right. Yeah, that's it's pretty simple. Pretty straightforward. He was singing in L.A. Guns, and then he got fired from our manager. And instead of you know letting him be fired, we just changed the name of the band and carried on. It's as
Right
simple
on.
as that. Yeah.
So has there ever been any, I'm not going to say animosity because you seem like too nice of a guy to be but when you look back, like you guys had like 10, 12 albums out there. Guns only produced, I think, five. And the
Yeah.
success that they got, was there any kind of like, it's just, Jesus, damn it, how they went that way? And you guys are still rocking, world-class band.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever had any kind of thoughts of, geez, only if?
No, no, because I mean, we all knew what was going to happen. See, all of us guys were so dumb that we just knew that we were going to be the biggest thing since popcorn, right? Like yeah, and it was apparent right away, anyways. As soon as we got rolling, and especially when we changed the name to Guns N' Roses, we had already built a really good following as LA Guns. That things were going in the right direction. It got to a point for me where for a period of time it wasn't a fun rock band anymore.
Okay.
It was more about kind of talking to the audience and holding church, and at
Oh,
that point, I was 19 and I'm like, all right, I'm going to go back and reform a new LA Guns and do what I want to do. And but the success thing is great for everybody,
yeah.
everybody involved. I mean, it might be different if I had left and I just became homeless or something. That's for sure. I'm sure I'd be like, but I never saw the point in that. I always saw, an opportunity to, embrace this great thing I created with Axel, and then go on and do LA Guns. And then, we've done great. This is our 15th studio record,
15.
and it's our fifth in 7 years, and things just keep growing. We're a weird band, we're kind of like those little, thousand leggers that you see crawling from time to time. Every now and then we just pop up again. We
You
scare
have
everybody.
somebody. You have. I gotta ask you. I've never asked this. You have somebody holding your phone?
No, it's an iPad.
Oh, okay. Because as soon as you went back and zoomed with you, I'm like, who's doing that? Okay, right on. I don't know how
Technology.
iPads work, but I mean, I guess it's pretty technically savvy. So, how would you describe the difference in sound? Because there is a difference in sound between LA Guns and Guns N' Roses, in my opinion. LA Guns sounds a little bit more raw.
Yeah,
Less production.
definitely. So, the design for Guns N' Roses was to be kind of this Aerosmith with heavier guitars. That was kind of
Yeah.
the design. And then and then you had Axl, Axl, lyrically, especially at the time, was our lifestyle, and true events and people that we knew are all included in those songs. Where LA Guns is just faster and dirtier music generally.
Yeah.
And and our lyrics have always been about kind of like praising women, and more of the sex and rock and roll than the drugs. And yeah, Leopard Skin kind of says it all, kind of ties the room together, doesn't it? I think we're possibly a more energetic, fun, up tempo band, but also we get into some real heavy metal stuff too
Oh yeah.
sometimes. And but this record we didn't. This is a rock and roll record, straight across the board, super fun stuff.
Yeah, motherfucker and taste it. I mean, I've heard those singles. Tell everybody who's in the band. Like everybody knows it's you and Phil. Like everybody knows that part. But you've had some, like we're all adults. We grow in and out of it, the music and stuff. But you've had a few replacements. But you've got some guys that've been in there for the last 10 years.
Yeah. Sean Duncan on drums. He's originally from a band called Odin, that was a heavy metal band from when we all started, in the early '80s. And Johnny Martin on bass. He's been with us for 10 years. He was with me before we reunited in 2017. We've been playing together. And then Ace Von Johnson, who we recruited from Faster Pussycat about 5-6 years ago, before the pandemic. And that's been the lineup for the last 4 records. And then we have a studio drummer, Adam Hamilton. That's who I write all the music with. He plays on the albums, and Sean plays drums live.
Okay. So you've got a tour starting. You just got back from the Mork and Mindy show. Mork.
Yeah, we
Monsters of
did.
Rock. Um,
Yeah, we did.
and so when do you start that tour? In April? And you got about
Yeah.
18, 20 dates?
The that's the first part. The first part is 22 shows or 21 shows, and we start on April 22nd in Pennsylvania, and then we come home for maybe a month. We got 4 shows in that month, and then we head out, at the end of July with Tom Kiefer, kind of forever.
Wow. Do you know if you're going to be hitting any Canadian dates? I'm on the border with Michigan, but
Yeah, not we don't have anything outside the US yet. We had a European tour booked, and then all these US dates came in and we had to knock that on the head. And
Oh yeah.
especially with the way travel seems like it's going to get real weird here in a minute.
Oh,
um
it's weird.
yeah, it's weird, so we're just going to stay home and do like 100 shows, before next May, and then
I'm
see
sure.
then see
Wow.
if things cool down. Yeah, it's just, man, my country got real fucking weird.
Your country. Jeez, I trade spots with you. Canada's not better, eh? These days.
Yeah.
The politics. So I don't want to forget. Thank you, Vicky Cavazos, for the Bang Your Head apparel. You must know
Oh
Carlos.
yeah, yeah. Vicky's awesome. I actually have to write her back. She's gonna make me some really cool pants.
Oh wow. Right on.
Yeah,
Everybody go to Bang Your Head apparel for some good swag. Um, I don't want to keep you long because I really know how busy you are and how exhausting these can be, but just got a couple cliche things for you. You have
okay.
a favorite Canadian rock band artist or guitar player besides
Yeah.
everybody?
Besides Rush, right? I really like Big Sugar. Big
Big
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah,
Everybody, Gordy from Big Sugar is very popular in Canada. He's actually,
yeah.
I live outside of a minor city of 100,000 people, and he's coming to play this community, Richard's Landing, this summer. And so that's great. You said Big Sugar. Awesome, Tracii.
Oh yeah, yeah. We did a show with them up there, a festival, and we had such a good time with them. But my favorite band, period, is the Surfragettes, and they're from Peterborough, and they're a surf band, all girls surf band, and the guitarist is my best friend. Her name's Shermie.
Really? The Surfragettes. I mean, I know
Yeah.
my music, but I haven't heard of the Surfragettes. I might have to
Oh,
get
you
her
got to check
myself.
them out, man. They're on tour down here right now.
Wow.
Yeah, they're killer.
There's a band from the Sioux, which is where I'm from. I think you might have played Sioux, Michigan, the Kuwaitan Casino
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
but they're from Sioux, Ontario, and they're called the Inner City Surfers. They're kind of
There
a
you go.
unique band that I used to hang out with. But what's the opposite of unsubscribe, Tracii?
Subscribe.
Everybody do as Tracii Gunn says and subscribe to this channel for these great interviews and great interviewees. You get some great eye candy as well. You can look at Tracii's
Always.
girlfriend. Oh, you no, I'm just kidding.
I got a big version of it right here. I don't know why this is sitting on my desk, but it has been since all the interviews started.
Oh,
And
wow.
people can see the back. It's just leopard skin.
And you know what I just thought when you put that to the camera? You know
That my
what? Remember
girlfriend
back
looks
in the
sick.
day when we used to have those 3D glasses and you go to the movie theater?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
yeah.
it be great to have your album cover as a 3D and you get the glasses inside the jacket, you open it up and those type tones are coming at you?
Well, we did that with Hollywood Vampires. That was all 3D. It
Oh
came with
wow.
glasses. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my God. Well, I didn't realize that.
yeah. But there was no titties on that album cover, so
Oh, well, what's the point? Just kidding.
exactly. Yeah, there was no point.
There is no point. No high beams.
Yeah, no high beams.
All right, Tracii, thanks a lot for your time, my friend. I appreciate it.
Good times, man. Thank you. I appreciate it too. I really do.